Nacho cat, meaning I'm not sure cat. And today I'm going to talk to you about the different types of numbers. Now, while playing with this chord is really fun, I'm going to move right into real numbers. A real number is any number, positive or negative. Real numbers also include decimals and fractions. Basically, all numbers are real numbers. The only exception being imaginary numbers, meaning they aren't real. Whoa, so what are imaginary numbers? Strange creatures indeed. Well, actually, it's a number that when squared gives a negative result. But that's impossible, you say? Well, exactly. That's why we call them imaginary numbers. We can imagine that the square root of -1 equals I. Now, you're probably thinking, if this number is imaginary, why do we even need to learn about it? Even though I is not a tangible value, it's applicable in complex things such as electricity, quadratics, and complex calculus. But we won't go into all of that. I know what you're thinking, a cute little cat with a change in accent. Well, English is a really hard language, so I'm just going to talk like this for the remainder of the video. Okay, let's go. For our next type of number, we have natural numbers. Natural numbers are the most basic type of numbers out there. Think back to when you were a little teeny child and think of the numbers you could count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. You didn't think about fractions or negative numbers, and especially not imaginary numbers. You kept things simple, natural, if you will. Just like with natural numbers, whole numbers obviously do not include fractions or negative numbers. You may be thinking, well, -8 should be a whole number. It's not a fraction or anything. But you, my friend, are wrong. Whole numbers are never negative. So get that out of your head right now or I'll have to claw it out for you. Now, why is 0 a whole number? Well, it's not negative and it's not exactly positive, but it's also not a fraction. So we catechetically trained mathematicians decided that 0 is a whole number.
Hi, I'm really cute and I am a boy, I just can't talk like one. Meow, meow, math, meow, math.
Now that we are moving on to integers, it is important that we remember our previous number lingo. Like whole numbers, integers cannot be fractions. Now, the only thing you have to be wary about is the fact that the symbol for an integer is a z. Why? Because, well, non-cat math geniuses decided that z would be a good letter to represent integers. Also, because the letter I was occupied by another type of number. Stupid imaginary numbers. Yay! These are my fave! Just remember, rational, fractional. Rational numbers are numbers that can be expressed as a fraction. 3/4, for example, or as a terminating decimal, like 0.75. Terminating just means that it doesn't go on forever. Perfect squares like 9 are also rational because it splits up rationally into 3 and 3. Okay, I guess we should do math now. Irrational numbers are numbers with decimals that go on forever. Pi, for example, never ends. 3.14159265358979323844626 blah 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 blah, and so on. This makes pi an irrational number. A lot of square roots are also irrational numbers because they cannot be evenly split. For example, the square root of 3 is 1.73205 blah 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 blah, and so on and so on. E, or Euler's number, is another example of an irrational number that is used in dealing with logarithms. Yay! Now we have a super helpful diagram. This diagram helps us to remember that even though there are different types of numbers, some of these numbers can overlap as long as they follow the same rules that they are given. Now it's your turn to answer some questions. -4 is... Perfect! -4 is an integer because it is a negative whole number. The square root of -1 is... imaginary. And I'm not kidding. And finally, pi is... irrational. It's irrational because its decimal goes on forever.
I really hope that you've enjoyed this video because I'm really cute, and I also hope that this helped you to understand the different types of numbers in the mathematical world. Thank you.